A huge amount of games and trailers have come out of E3 2012, as you'd expect, and we're going to be covering as many of the ones that excite us the most as we possibly can in some special roundup shows here on GameTankTV.
We're looking forward to a couple of these games so much though that we're doing special shows dedicated to them, and this is the first, and it's the incredible looking Tomb Raider reboot.
I think it would be fair to say that it's been quite some time since a Tomb Raider game has been absolutely AAA. They've been good, but there's been that something special missing from the more recent titles, in my opinion of course.
But this reboot in itself, a very bold move from the series handlers Crystal Dynamics, seems to be exactly what the series has needed lately. Freed from its own sprawling continuity, this is Tomb Raider starting again, as I'm sure you already know, and hopefully it's the beginning of a whole new series of Tomb Raider games.
Comparisons with Uncharted are obvious and justified, as Nathan Drake has done so much to reinvigorate the action-adventure genre over the last 5 years. Just watching this awesome new trailer shows off lush environments, threats and adversaries aplenty, and an isolated tropical island full of mystery and adventure. Sound familiar?
So, this is Lara Croft as we've never really seen her before. It's the story of how she goes from being an adventurous but inexperienced young explorer to a battle-scarred hardened survivor with the skills to match.
It'll be a game of endurance as much as anything, as our heroine is armed with little other than her instinct for survival as the game begins, and maybe a little survival knowledge from her research.
Although at some point she does come across a pretty sweet looking bow and arrow.
Oh yeah, loving the bow and arrow. Another thing I'm loving is how much more gritty and intense the story is looking. It's always great to feel emotionally involved in what's happening on screen, and it certainly seems that'll be one of the big factors in Lara's new adventure.
Plot-wise, we know that Lara sets out for an adventure on a ship called the Endurance, which is commanded by a character called Conrad Roth. Unfortunately, he loses control of the ship during a huge storm, and the boat splits in two and sinks.
Not a great name for a ship then, the Endurance. Maybe they should have gone for something that suggested sheer size and strength, like the Humongous, or the Colossal, or the Titanic. Oh wait.
Ship names aside, Lara and the rest of the survivors are washed up and stranded on the aforementioned isolated island, which is said to be in the mysterious sounding Dragon's Triangle.
I hope the dragon didn't mind. Crikey. As you'll have just seen, Lara awakens in a cave by the coast beside creepy looking corpses. It's clear that all is not right immediately.
Just to make things interesting, she's wounded in the process of escaping, finds a dead friend in what can only be described as a ritualistic pose, and has to also fight off a mysterious human figure as the cave collapses around her as she escapes.
Finding food and water become her primary concerns as she starts to adapt to island life, and fighting the local wildlife adds to her worries. Looking for other survivors keeps her going, but before long, our Lara realises that there are darker forces awaiting her, and has to come to terms with the kill or be killed twist her fate has brought to her.
So it looks good, huh? We'd be very surprised, given how long it's taken to develop, if Crystal Dynamics dropped the ball on this. From what we've seen so far, it looks like we've got a great and true gaming adventure on our hands here. Are you looking forward to this? Let us know in the comments below, and whilst you're at it, subscribe to us and you'll know when all our new shows are released.
I hate tombs.
Stay tuned at www.GameTankTV, or else, you jive turkeys.